In this video, we'll review the process of creating BMP construction checklist. Before we get started, I just want to mention to you that you can, at any time during the playback of this video, tap on your screen and a screen will appear with a gray X in the top left, and you can tap that gray X to stop video playback. That will display a red back button at the bottom of the screen. You can tap that red back button and that'll get you back into the app, and you can use the app as necessary. So let's get on to the process of creating a BMP construction checklist. Ideally, you want to work on your BMP construction checklist as construction occurs on the SWM facility. We'll go ahead and start by tapping the button, and you get the message that your mobile device does not contain any suspended or in-process construction checklists. So we'll click on the new checklist button down at the bottom. This will allow us to select the project. What will appear here is a list of all projects that have SWM facilities to be built. This is the only project that has one, so I'm going to click the green select button here. And now you'll see a list of the BMPs that are SWM facilities that are being built on this site. So I'm going to tap one of the blue select buttons. I'll pick this infiltration trench here at the bottom. I'll hit that select button. And SWPTrack will now ask you for a couple of other elements of data. One will be the BMP location, which it will fill in from the SWP designer's information. You can tap there and override that data as necessary. You can also tap and enter a DOT observer. Joe Smith. Obviously, you can use dictation capabilities of your device. The report checklist general comments can be edited by tapping on the Add Edit General Comments button. And once you tap in here to record the general notes, you can again use your, you can type the note or you can use dictation. This is day one of construction. At any time, you can suspend this checklist and pick it up at another time. This is useful when the construction of the SWM facility takes many days. You can start filling out the checklist for the particular type of BMP. Day one, you can indicate the checklist items that you can see and visually inspect. You can pick it up on day two and continue throughout the days of construction. I'm going to go ahead and tap the Go button. And now what we're going to do is record the dates and times that you're on site completing this checklist. It's important to note that you'll have another chance to add edit dates and times on site when you finalize this checklist. Obviously, as you're editing the checklist throughout a day and it's in midday, obviously you don't know what time yet you're leaving the site. So we're just going to bypass this for now and hit the Go button. SWPTrack knows that this checklist contains 15 line items, and you can see that we're viewing line item number 1 of 15. So let me talk a little bit about the buttons here. If the pre-construction notification given is acceptable and meets standards, simply tap the Meet Standards button. If it's not acceptable, tap the Not Acceptable button. If it's not applicable, tap the Not Applicable button. On any one of these 15 line items, you can add notes that can be viewed later when the checklist is complete. You can also import photos from your camera on your mobile device. You can view photos, and you can also take a photo. You can use the previous line and next line buttons to navigate through the checklist. You can use the Toggle List View button to see all of the line items on the checklist. As you can see, there are 15, and you can see that all of them are not yet answered. So I'm going to toggle the list view back, and we'll go back to item number 1, and I'm going to indicate that the pre-construction notification given met standards. So I'm just going to simply tap the Meet Standards button. SWPTrack BuildTrack's app will flag it this item as meeting standards, and it will move on to the next item. So I'm going to go ahead and tap the Meet Standards button now. And now we're on to line item number 2. And I'm going to tap the Meet Standards button there. And now we're on to number 3. I'll tap the Not Acceptable button. And it'll move on to number 4. And so on. Tap Not Applicable. And it'll continue throughout the checklist. Now, we come to an item where the app wants to know the the diameter of the pipe. And you can see that the checklist buttons have changed. Instead of the 3 buttons, Meet, Standards, Not Acceptable, Not Applicable, what we've got here is a button that says Edit Item Answer. So again, we're prompting for pipe diameter. So I'm going to tap the Edit Item Answer, and I'm going to tap here in this area to record my answer. And we're going to say that this is 22-inch pipe. Hit Done. And now you can see that the answer for pipe diameter is 22-inch. Now I can edit the item. I can edit the item answer, or I can go to the next line. So I'm just going to go ahead and tap the next line. And now it's asking for pipe material. I'll tap Edit Item Answer. I'll tap in the box. And it's concrete. Done. And now you can see that the concrete is the answer. I'm going to tap the Add Edit Item Notes. And I'm going to indicate PVC was not available. Hit Done, and you can see that the answer to this item is concrete, but I was able to add a note. I can also take photos, as I mentioned. If I tap the Finish button at this point, down here in the lower right, the app will indicate to me the line items of the checklist that have not yet been answered. As you can see, 10 through 15 have not yet been answered. So I hit OK. I can toggle the list view. I can scroll through the checklist items and see all the different answers that I've given so far. And then you can see line item 10 of 15, 11 of 15, and so on not yet answered. Perhaps I cannot answer these today because we've not gotten to that point in the construction. So I'm going to tap the Suspend button here at the bottom. And I'm back to my menu. So let's say that I log out and I log back in tomorrow. I can go to the Create BMP Construction Checklist by tapping that button. And there's the checklist that was started yesterday. So I'll hit the Resume button. I have an opportunity to edit the general information. I'll hit Go. Don't need to enter these dates and times that I was on site yet, but I'll take this opportunity to indicate that I was on site yesterday from 8 a.m. to 3:20 p.m. Hit Done. So I've just indicated that yesterday I was on site from 8 to 3:20, and now I'm going to hit Go. And you can see that I'm still working through my line items, 1 of 15. You can see that I've already answered this one, so I'm just going to go down here and tap the Next Line button. And I'll go through number 2 and just keep tapping until I get to the first one that I've not yet answered, which is number 10, Structural Components. I'm going to hit Meet Standards. Meet Standards on 11, Meet Standards on 12, 13, 14, and I'll say that 15 is not applicable. So I'm at the last line item. I'm going to go ahead and tap the Finish button down here at the bottom. I have an opportunity to edit my general comments. And I'm going to add that I was on site today, December 5th, from 8 a.m. to 3:20. I'm going to go ahead and hit Go. And now here's my opportunity to sign. There is no DOT representative signature. I'm going to hit Finalize Report. And the app says, gives me a chance to have the DOT observer sign. I'm going to say yes. That was Joe Smith. Finalize the report. And now I can tap the yes button to upload the data for the checklist to the server. You can see the data being uploaded, and this will upload the data of all the checklist answers as well as any photos I've taken. And that's the process for creating the BMP construction checklist. One more thing to note is that different types of BMPs will have different types of checklists, and that will affect the number of line items that are on each checklist. So SwiftTrack will know the checklist that is applicable based on the type of BMP that you're creating a construction checklist for. That concludes this video. Thank you very much for watching.